Hello, how's everybody doing? Usually I have something in the background that I like to put so that it's like I don't really have anything. I usually put something up, but I guess because I like it to have some kind of effect in the back. But anyway, I guess you see my guitar there. I like to put some color. I don't have a um pictures, although would like pictures on the wall, but I never got. Actually, I have these paintings, but I never really put them up. I don't know when I'll put the paintings up. And anyway, I'm getting ready to change rooms. So anyway, I wanted to say hi to everybody. Um, Today was kind of a busy day. I slowed down a little bit. I mean, as far as my videos, I really think about the ones that I'm going to do because I'm like in a how can I say, a transition, because I go by, like the subscribers, the things that I do, a lot my views and everything, because I want to keep the station, I want to keep it strong. So usually at a like a turning point, which I have like 200, going on 250 viewers, I have to think about, like what's going on. But everything in the channel that I have will continue. There's a lot of things that I couldn't continue because I'm processing a lot of things. I did a lot of music, and I think that it's processing, and there's a lot to look at while you're not looking at the Jehovah Witness videos. But usually, when I progress a lot, then I show you what I've progressed and what I've learned as far as, the music and everything is concerned. So everything's going fine. But I wanted to do a video today. We talk so much about Selena, which is tragic. A lot of people don't understand where we're coming from. It's because we're affected by it every day. And you have some people who can't understand, um, but in order for them to understand, they would have to be like a part of the ex-Jehovah Witness community, I guess. But there's some people who aren't, and they understand, and they pretty much, well, usually if you have some kind of um, if you can feel what other people feel, that's good, because you don't like say, like I wouldn't go to somebody's station and I don't even understand what's happening, and and say, why do you do this, or why do you do that, why do you do that, when they have like 500 videos. And in order for me to understand that station, I would have to go through their videos to see where they're coming from, instead of just asking a point blank question, you know, without researching their their um their YouTubes, or their previous YouTubes. I mean, because I got some comments which I don't understand. But anyway, we're gonna go forward, and I'm still want to finish this still going on with this comment that I had, the long comment. But today I want to talk about the soul, and because there was another point that came up, because I still do the boxes like I was telling you about, and it's strengthened me a lot. And this one is going to be on, because I have my book here, and I put down the soul. There's so many things that we can't connect to. I don't know why this is in there. This, I have no idea. Okay, so some things that the reason why we can't connect to a lot of things as far as being a Jehovah's Witness, because I said it's like here and there, nothing connects. So I put down soul because I remember 22, 23. So it's 23. And as a Jehovah's Witness, you can't go from one point to another because they're all spread out. It's pretty much a joke on the on Christendom. Actually, I know it's not it's not a religion. It's a cult, and it doesn't have anything to do with God whatsoever. I know it's a demonized religion. I have to say that because I grew up in it, and I know what happened after I left, and it's hard for people to grasp what's going on in our minds because we were affected by something that went pretty much against everything that God has arranged for mankind himself, which is pretty sad. And you know that you have family members in it also. And a lot of people don't understand why we continue. It's because we're affected by it every day. If they can have some form of compassion for other people and try and figure out, if somebody's not trying to hurt anybody or anything, and they're trying to explain something, and they're trying to strengthen each other, I mean, it's hard for me to understand how some people cannot see that. But the world is the world. But one thing I know I'm glad for is that I know I have a relationship with God. And the thing about it is that Christians don't use, and I know a lot of Christians and I love Christians, and most of the time they don't argue scriptures. They don't say, you're supposed to do this, it's Ecclesiastes such and such and such. It's not a way to argue. The scriptures that was given to me by my other brothers, ex-Jehovah Witness brothers, is they did it to encourage me, and I really appreciate that. That's when it's coming from God. When someone says, well, read this scripture to strengthen you, or read that scripture to strengthen you. But I'm not going to give you a scripture, and I don't see it common to where Christians actually fight with the Bible. Okay, so that's one sign that tells me that something's wrong in the beginning. When you have people saying, this is true, look at this. This is true, look at this scripture, look at that scripture. That's not true. That's not how God works. We don't work like that. As Christians, we work together, And most of the Christians that I know, I mean, I don't judge anybody. I haven't had them say this scripture for a reason to defend their opinion. Usually it's not like that. So that's another reason why I know that it's really not, it's a demonized religion, because as Christians we don't do things like that. When we give scriptures, we do scriptures to encourage one another. I mean, even when I'm in the train station or walking and there's Christians and they want to see if you're saved, they give you scriptures, but they don't say scriptures like they're right. It's just something that they want, something that they feel, and they want to include you or something like that. Okay, so that's one point I wanted to make, and that shows me that it's a demonized religion because of their fighting with the scriptures. And every time I've said is you need a relationship with God, and even to read the scriptures you need a relationship with God. That's very important. And this tape is actually going to be on the Jehovah's Witnesses Don't Have a Soul. And I couldn't find that point because I said their points don't connect. But I was doing so much work. Pretty much everything I do is the gifts that were given to me by God, And otherwise I wouldn't have talents. I wouldn't, have things that I could do that are so, breathtaking to me, Okay, so this one is going to be on the Jehovah's Witnesses Don't Have a Soul. And I remember because when we would always go out in field service, we would tell the people, the soul is you. The soul is you. And just think about it goes so. That's one point I wanted to make. This on YouTube is that they just take a lot of things that Christians take for granted or are very beautiful, and they try and destroy them or make fun of them, you know, because all the time we would always say, the soul is you. The soul is you. There's no soul. And that's one point that we haven't really covered too much about. And I said the reason why all these points are lost because they don't connect with each other. It's just a whole bunch of things to make Christians look bad or to offend them, things like that. That's why I know it's not really a heavenly organization. And then I wrote some things down. The soul is you. We used to always say that. And you know you need your soul. And the thing about it is the reason why it's misleading a lot of people because the Jehovah's Witnesses don't have a soul. You can actually lose it, you know, to where it's like gone. And I can say pretty much you don't have a soul. If you can't use your soul, you can't use your soul to speak to God. You can't use your soul to read the Bible. There's so many things that you use it for. And if you say you are your soul, you're actually, it's like so demeaning. It's such a terrible thing to say to a Christian, you know. When you depend on your soul for so many things, you have a conscience and things like that, and things that you want to do, you think about them in your soul, you know, something that can't be destroyed, you know. So the soul is not you because when you die, you can actually see that the person is dead. They have all of their organs and everything there. What's missing? And it's just another thing that they used to offend Christians, and I think that's pretty sad. Okay, and that's right there shows you how are you going to look at the scriptures or tell the scriptures if you don't have a soul. I mean, they're just making fun. That's it. You can't sing without the soul. It's just so many things that you do. And I put down, how can you read the Bible without a soul? The Bible is not. And then I put down, the Bible is not a tool to fight. And I already mentioned that. It's like when we talk, we don't want to say, I'm right. Look at Proverbs such and such and such. I'm right. Look at this scripture. I'm right. This scripture. First of all, God is not like that, okay? He's going to lead you to the scripture, and he's not going to have you to fight over which scriptures is right and which one is wrong. But like I said, even before you have the Bible, you need God. You need a soul to speak to God. So you got to think about those things. So I went over that one. I went over that. The Bible's not a tool to fight. What can you do without a soul? What can you do without a soul as a Christian? Well, pretty much you have to be a Jehovah's Witness because they think that they can't even say that they're Christian without a soul, and they actually publicize that they don't have a soul. So, pretty much can't do anything. To make for the teaching of Christendom, and okay, and that's what I'm saying. It's pretty much their teachings pretty much just make fun of the things that Christendom believe. I mean, like for instance, you know, Jesus. I mean, Jesus is God. They want to make their demon God, but where's Jesus? I mean, like, it doesn't make any sense. That's what I mean. It's just like a thing just to poke fun at you. A thing to make you confused, you know? Because it can't make any sense. You can't draw A, B, and C. There's nothing. You remember the numbers, like, you know, like the dots, connect the dots. There's no, like, dots. You see these dots? Okay, maybe you can see them. But you can't connect the dots. That's another thing. I don't believe you go to heaven. Okay, and then they don't believe in heaven. I mean, Jesus went to heaven. I mean, his disciples know that he was in heaven. And how in the world can there not be any heaven? They only believe 144,000 go to heaven, which they changed that also. But there's no heaven. When you die, there's no heaven. There's nowhere to go. Okay? So that's another poking fun at the Christians. These are things that was not really, that we believed in, and it takes a while to understand certain things. For not so much that it takes not to understand, but for yourself to mature as a Christian. You have to mature as a Christian. There's things that you have to know, and you just don't know them overnight. But yet they're stopping a lot of people from getting to know that they could have a soul. I'm not going to say they have a soul, because if you say you don't have a soul, then you don't have a soul. Okay? So I don't want anybody to come in and say everybody has a soul. When I was Jehovah's Witness and I said I didn't have a soul, believe me, I didn't have a soul. So I can't say it. What it means not to have a soul, I think one of the things would be is not to believe that you have a soul, and that would be the closest no soul. Okay, and then there's no hell. I mean, there's no heaven and there's no hell. Okay, these are things that are just made up, just to poke fun at the Christians. So that's what this tape is going to be on. That's as far as I can say, because it's really a big point as far as not having a soul. Because a lot of things that I do on the channel, it depends on understanding my talent. And I don't believe that my talents come from just me. Okay, because I mean, I could pass away, you know what I mean? But if I have a soul, I can learn about my soul and learn about, my body and how to take care of it, you know what I mean? But my body can't learn about my body. So that's what I did, most of my talent. There's a lot of talent that I have, but I have to say that I have a soul, a spirit or a soul. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to learn from God. So that's the most important thing. So they don't learn from God. And that's where I'm going to end this YouTube. And the topic is going to be Jehovah's Witnesses don't have a soul. So thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to have another YouTube tomorrow. Bye-bye.